So, hello everyone, a very good evening. Welcome to Homeopathy Musings. So, today we are starting episode 17 of our monthly series ABC of Remedies, where Dr. Prajakta Vaidya ma'am will be taking a session on Tarentula hispanica, which is prepared from the Spanish spider. You can review the other episodes of ABC of Remedies season 1 and 2 on our YouTube channel as well as on our website. The link will be shared in the chat box. But before starting our today's session, I will just take a quick look at our ongoing and upcoming courses. So we have this course ongoing that is on anxiety and panic disorders by Dr. Aradhna Chitra ma'am. The course has already started and we have completed 3 sessions. But if you want, you can still register and avail the recordings of the previous sessions. Then we have another interesting course that is on lanthanides by Dr. Jonathan Hardy sir. Sir will be taking 4 sessions on the lanthanide group of remedies in depth. The course is starting soon, that is from the 31st of July, and there will be 4 sessions. I would highly recommend for this course for the homeopaths who really want to learn more about the mineral kingdom and the lanthanides group of remedies. Then we have another interesting course coming up that is on nutrition by Dr. Nandita Shah ma'am. Ma'am will be taking session on how to enhance your practice by reversing chronic disease with effective nutritional guidance along with homeopathy. There are total 4 sessions. The course is starting from the 8th of August and registrations are still going on. It will be a great opportunity to learn from ma'am. Then we have another clinical webinar that is coming, management of pathologically advanced cases with homeopathy by Dr. Ashok Borkar sir. It will be a 2-hour webinar on the 23rd of August. And yeah, the early bird is still going and tomorrow will be the last date of the early bird. Then we have another interesting course coming up that is on practical application of homeopathy in treating psychotic disorders by Drs. Prajakta Vaidya ma'am and Dr. Preeti Shah ma'am. There will be 2 sessions in the month of September, that is on the 1st and 15th of September. Early bird is still going on and is ending soon on the 30th of July. So if you want, you can avail this offer. Then after our successful 3 versions of Basics of Contemporary Homeopathy course, we are starting this year with the version 4 by our renowned team of homeopaths. The course will demonstrate the integration of classical and contemporary concepts of homeopathy. It will be a 16-day sessions, 2-hour sessions for 16 days from the month October to December. If you want, you can register or you can share with someone who can get benefit out of this course. The early bird offer is still going on till 31st of August. Also, as you all know, we have started our website and there is exclusive Musings corner for our participants where you can enroll yourself and avail the benefits of it, that is attending live cases from ma'am, directly learning from ma'am every month. Then you can refer your difficult cases and also the extra 5% benefits as a complimentary on all the Musings courses and also many more perks. For any further information regarding our courses, you can, or any difficulties, you can enroll or you can just contact on the given contact details and we will be very much happy to help you. Further going on, just basic hygiene factors. Please mute your lines all the while the speaker is speaking. Keep your videos on, which helps in the interaction. If you have any questions during the speaker is explaining, you can raise your hands or put it in the chat box and we will address it at the end of the session. Please do not scribble on the screen, make notes and share your experiences. Thank you so much. I'll stop sharing and quickly hand over to ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so thank you, Mansi, for the introduction and the events that you shared. Specific about this ABC of remedies, the intention is to understand our remedies from all the aspects, the classical aspects as well as the contemporary method. And we try to do that with case examples so that we are able to see that from all the sides. Okay, and as Mansi said, there are other remedies also that we have done before. And today I'm going to take Tarentula. So now, I'm going to start with the case. So let's try to understand this case in the context of the remedy and the group that we are going to talk about today. Hmm? So I'll share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a very, very, very interesting case. Nice case, short case, which explains almost all the themes, characteristics of this remedy. Okay, so I chose to show this case today. Okay, so it is a case of a male patient, okay, who is a seropositive. The complaint, main complaint was his anger, and the physical complaint he had piles. Okay, so 29-year-old, gay, he recently had a breakup with his boyfriend, and he was into this relationship for almost 3 years. Hmm. And since then, the kind of a situation or the anger has kind of come up, aggravated, and that has aggravated his physical complaints also. So they were in the relationship for 3 years, and when it got broken down, it kind of affected him a lot. He said, I did not sleep. It was kind of, a constant desire to see him. And then we fought a lot, and then it kind of broke. I wanted to spend my entire life with him. So that kind of a passionate relationship that he had. He meant everything to me, but he cheated on me. So when he came to know what was his feeling during that time, I wanted to just slap him at least once. And he said that very, very, uh, very cunningly type. Once, of course, he was very attached to it, but he said, once I wanted to make him learn the lesson and wanted to slap him. Okay. And then he smiles. Then he said, I would, in general, I want to kind of stop thinking about him and move on. And, I want to do all that thing, but I am unable to do that. Why? Because I'm kind of stuck. Okay. So here we see some situation where he got cheated, and what was his reaction or experience, that he wanted to kind of slap him, teach him a lesson, right? Want to move ahead, but he said, I am stuck. So something important which I have highlighted are the words need to be considered. Okay. He said, my heart is trapped in his love. So situation of disappointment in love can be common, but what is the experience of that individual in that particular situation is something very important to us as a homeopath, right? So you can think about disappointment in love, natrum, mule, pulsatilla, those kind of a remedy. But what is the experience of the other person? What he says, he feels as if I'm stuck, as if I'm trapped in his love. Then there is tendency to self-harm. So he's kind of into depression. He gets very angry and has very, very destructive tendency. So he has a lot of cuts on his wrist. And then he says that when I cut myself, I feel very, very relaxed. When I see my own blood, I feel very happy. So it's not just a simple disappointment in love. There is something more to it, where there is destruction, where there is, kind of uh, very, very heartless kind of a feeling. No? The emotions are at a very different level here. When I go to gym and I exercise, I feel much better because then there is a release of this stress. Then I sometimes pluck my eyebrows in the stress. That kind of helps. So this kind of a restlessness, this kind of destruction is his experience and the reaction to the situation. He said, I shouts and screams when I'm very angry. My brain will kind of blast. It explodes. And my anger is very, very intense. I curse, I swear, I use abusive language. I get very, very hyper in this situation. So very intense anger that he gets. Then destructive also. So he throws things. He says, I've broken televisions, cupboard, phones, refrigerators, so much of anger, destructive. When I break things, I feel relaxed. I'm very friendly. As a person, I'm very friendly, lovable. I want to share things with people whom I really love. So very selfish kind of a attitude that we look here, right? He says, but if somebody, who blocks my way, then they will be my worst enemy. If someone is nice with me, I will be extremely nice with them. Even if it is fake, it is okay. But the other person should be nice to me. But if somebody is bad with me, then he will be an enemy for my entire life. And not just that, he says, even if I'm dying, even if that person is dying, I will not help that person. Even if he wants water when during the death, I will choose not to give the water or even take away that water from his hand. So that kind of revengefulness or that kind of anger and that kind of a hatred that that person can have. I don't show my vulnerabilities to people because I feel people can take advantage of that. Hmm. Then the person will not even realize, in the situations that I have created a trap for them or set for him. So he had kind of given a situation where he had kind of plotted this kind of a trap. And he had that tendency to do that for his own benefit or for his own kind of a advantage, right? And people don't even come to know. So this kind of a manipulation, this kind of a trip and you know trapping or kind of a tricking somebody, right? And then he suddenly use that as a method and then do what he wants. So either, slap that person or take a revenge or whatever he wants to do. So this is his kind of a nature. This is a kind of a person that we are dealing with, right? So we understand one situation and what is his experience during that situation. Then there is this his personality. So, he's kind of a extrovert kind of a person, friendly, lovable, sharing things with only people whom he likes. Very, very close type of a person in terms of sharing things with only loved ones, right? And then we have some totality of his anger where he shouts, screams, curses, and swears. He is very revengeful. He can throw things. That is one kind, the whole totality of the anger that we see. Then we see another angle of his personality that he feels he doesn't trust people. So he will not show the vulnerabilities. He will not show his weak side. In fact, he will trap and trick the other people for his own benefit. Right. So this is what we are looking at as a person. Hmm? Then we ask him about the hobbies. He says, I love music. Then I love, plucking, cutting, going out with my friends, parties. That is my, go to do things. I love going to gym, skipping ropes. It makes me feel very, very happy. And then he kinds of, starts laughing very loudly at that. When I skip, it feels like the stress is going out and I feel relaxed. So that kind of a energy which has to come out, which have so much of restlessness, which needs a release, which needs a venting it out, right? And then I will have this positive energy. I love dancing, so song, dancing, bodies moving up and down, jumping, even while hugging. I hold that person very tightly and then kind of, do that jumping, that kind of a vibrating energy we are looking at here. Hmm. My dance movements are also jumping types. I'm very good at dance. Okay, and people come to me for learning the dance. Very particular about the steps, rhythm, and nuances of the each gesture. Okay, and then there are some observation that we did. He had a tattoo. You can see it over here, an Egyptian tattoo. Okay, which is an eye of a horse. And it is for a good luck sign, also of reindeers. I'm very fascinated of them. It's where what is the importance of it? It's very attractive. Hmm? And very, very important for him, the luxury, to have good clothes, good brands, money, having good cars, drive something which is kind of a luxurious cars is something that he really, really likes. Hmm? So this is the a case in general that we have, and different shades of him. And how do we understand this remedy here that we analyze? We see what is the central pattern in this that we are looking at. Okay, there is a strategy, right? There is something me versus you. There is a clear cut animal language that we can see. Somebody did something to him, he wants to react back. Somebody, kind of uh, taking advantage of him, he doesn't like that. So there is something which is externally happening which he really don't like, and he reciprocate according to it. So there is this me versus you phenomenon. Hmm? What is the central pattern here? We see the animal themes, but what in animal, which group of animal that we are looking at, right? When we are looking at animals, there are main two groups of invertebrates and vertebrates, right? So we have to understand what are the themes that we want to see in those groups. We have anger, and anger to a cruelty level, no, with hard-heartedness. What we see is a tubercular miasm, so much of restless energy, and wants to kind of release it. Very restless, jumping and dancing. And what is his strategy of getting, his way of responding is the strategy of trap. Okay, so we see here the spider themes. Okay, but also it is important that we see the repertorial rubric. Okay, so mind, throw things, break things, desire to anger, violent, cut, mutilate, desire to mania or madness, abuses everyone, mind jumping, dance, desires to. If you see, the Tarentula is covering all these rubrics along with the repertorial totality and the system point of concepts that we have. So we have restlessness, we have dance desires, we need jumping, and that unrequited love feeling, na? That from his boyfriend, what he didn't get. So these were the important themes, and these are the main important themes of Tarentula Hispanica. So he was given this remedy in infrequent doses throughout almost 6 months. He did really, really very well in terms of his anger, his self-harm, and the piles, the physical complaint and bleeding of piles has also reduced. So overall, it uh, helped him from all his complaints that he had. So now let's learn about this remedy. Okay. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So we see this is a chart, the animal chart given by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi. And when we see animal, the classification of the animals is done in two major groups, that is invertebrates and vertebrates. Okay, so the spiders comes in the invertebrates. Okay, you can see it here, the air element. Okay, we see here in adolescence age, arachnids, right? All the spiders. Dr. Mahesh Gandhi has put it over here. I'll just stop share and start again. Please stop scribbling because it's very disturbing. Okay, so we see invertebrate themes and the spider is in the aerial phase or the air element is more. We'll talk about it in the coming time. So just for your understanding, and the spider belongs here. What is the history of the spider group? So when you understand the remedy, say Tarentula, it is from the animal kingdom, right? It is from the arachnid group. So there will be themes of all these things in it, right? When you look at a patient, you will have themes of animals, you will have themes of spider, you'll have like arachnids, you will have themes of spider group, and then amongst that, which spider, right? That is how we'll be able to, or every spider case, you will give tarantula. So very important. There are very very good remedies in the spider group, and those details about the cases, a lot of other spider remedies cases we have done in our animal module, in depth learning of animal group of remedies. But currently we will learn about tarantula. Hmm? So the spiders, they have existed since many many years. Okay, and they're innumerable, various they're spread across a lot. And they're very, very important in ecological and agriculture field also. So phylum is Arthropoda and class is Arachnida. Along with the spiders, that is Arachnidae, is the spider family. We have scorpions and the mites in this arachnid group. Okay. About the spiders, they're mainly the aranomorphy or the megalomorphy, right? What is the difference? They have aranomorphy, have one pair of lung, and these are two pair of lungs. Okay. The word spider is derived from the Old English word spithra, which means spinner. Okay. They have these hard external skeleton and joint limbs. Okay. So they are also called arthropods, right? So joint, arthro is joints and pods means the footed. Okay, they look little similar like insects, but they are little different. Okay, in terms of their body sections, in terms of their legs. So spider will have 8 legs, insects will have 6. And spiders don't have antenna, but the insects will have. So in terms of the bodily kind of a appearance. What is a survival strategy for the spiders? So generally they have a very very short lifespan. Okay, so they're always in the danger zone, but they kind of, with their energy, with their kind of survival strategies, they kind of escape and find their own shelter, food for their survival. Okay, the eggs and the young spiders, they are the food for many animals. Okay, so like birds, reptiles, and mammals and other. So a lot of predators are there. Okay, so they're always feel that they are in danger. So something will happen, and also from the invertebrate group, right? So they feel that they are very threatened. So if you see mind dreams hiding danger from, you will see spider remedies in it. Dreams of danger, you will see spider remedies. So always in danger. Okay. Then how do they survive? So they either can ampute their own limbs and, which they can regenerate, they can camouflage, They can show some warning signs, okay, or they can survive by pretending to be dead or dropping down quickly from their thread line. That could be one thing, and feeding as a dangerous or disastrous animal. So any of these survival strategies they will use during the danger or a threatened period. Hmm? What do we see in this group? Is intense pace and speed and hyperactivity. If this is not there, you cannot prescribe, spiders or that tubercular miasm. Very restless, in terms of their speech, in terms of their body language, in terms of their walk, everything. And that kind of a speed and pace is very important if you have to prescribe this remedy. Hmm? Intense restlessness, hyperactivity. So they'll be always busy. They will be very quick to act. They like activities like which are fast paced. Okay, fidgeting, then impulsive, dancing. This patient had no dancing, high pace, traveling. They like actively wandering. All these things will be part of them, and it's a very, very, very important. Okay. Then what else you will have to see? Restlessness. The restlessness is not just going here or there. It's kind of a nervous restlessness that they cannot sit still. Very fidgeting, restless leg. If you see, a tarantula child comes to your clinic, he can break things. You'll have to keep preventing things from destroying from that child, right? So that kind of a restlessness. Very sensitive to noise, sounds, and vibration, because they feel that sensitivity. They're very, very hyper acute senses that they have. They have sense of rhythm. So inclination to dance, jump around, moving around, and that kind of restlessness will be there. And rhythmic quality is very important. So dancing, what kind of dance then? Jumping, high pace music, kind of where a lot of body movements are required. Sudden death, sudden threat, and alertness is one of the very important theme of spiders and insects also. Suddenness, because their lifespan is very, very short. So sudden urges, impulsive violence, impulsive aggression, unexpected. Suddenly, they will have something, or suddenly they can come up with this anger. Suddenly they can have some kind of a fun kind of a bullying somebody, like that explosive type of. So this is also one of the very important thing. Then the feeling of this caught and trapped, either way around. So they also kind of hide and conceal, right, and try to be unnoticeable, right? But their survival strategy is also to trap somebody, or create a web where somebody can get into that trap unnoticedly or unknowingly, right? So trapping or falling a prey to a trap is something very important thing. Okay, so they either will have feeling of being trapped, like how that our patient also had. He felt I'm trapped in his love, like that. Or they can also, and other polarity we saw, he likes to do that also, right? So this is caught and trapped is very important. The important keywords related to that will be, web. When it goes at a very source level, we have seen they have kind of described that web, how that looks and everything. Feeling of trap, entangled, caught, confined. Okay, then run around, burrows, holes, escape, and trapdoor. These will be the keywords. Hmm? Deceit is a very important theme of the spider remedies. Okay, so knowingly and knowingly falling them into this trap is something, or mischievous kind of a way, very, very cunning way of getting somebody into trouble is very important theme of spiders. Deceive and ambush. So deceitfulness, tricking, feigning, pretense uh, can be seen. Opportunistic and scheming, so they kind of scheme Scheming is a chief trait for and manipulative behaviors that we see. Situation for their advantage is something important. Then deceit, right? Playing pranks, having, kind of bullying somebody intentionally, tricking, teasing, risk taking, defiant, outspoken, all of that belong to uh, this group. Mimicry is specifically related to Tarentula as imitation. So they like to do that as well. And when we come to a spider remedy, they come very close to insect, but in spider, they are more, more importance to this tricking and trapping, and the rhythmic dancing, and this courtship and attraction, this kind of a situation, and that unrequited love is very, very important in as a remedy in Tarantula, plus the group. Okay, they kind of, male kind of attract female by luring and, visual cues like dancing. If we can see some video of that, let me see if I can show you that. Mm. Okay, let me just open it. Mm. Wait, let me see if I've shared the audio. Mm. Give me a minute. Yes. Okay.
Spider silk with the scent of a female. Spider silk with the scent of a female. He just needs to follow it. Wherever it leads him. Other males have gone on the same quest and have come to a grisly end. Here's the female, and she doesn't look very amorous. In fact, she kills every male who doesn't match up to her expectations. What can he do to win her over? Dance. Dance for his life. He will need a show-stopping trick to avoid becoming lunch. With his fan unfurled, he begins an ever more complicated series of dance moves to try and seduce her. At last, she succumbs to his advances and allows him to mate with her.
So yeah, we see the dance, the kind of a romantic relationship, the passion, and how that courtship and is very important. Okay, let's go further. Let's see one more video of this dance. Very, very interesting. I found it.
Is the Australian peacock jumping spider, a miracle mover who can't afford to put a foot wrong. He's only the size of a grain of rice. Yes, he's that small. Which in a place like this means almost anything could be dangerous.
Similar kind of dance that we see. So very important for them to have the love or that courtship and that alluring. Very, very important. Let's go further. Okay, so in our patient, how we will see they like attention, they are attention seeking, they like to attract attention by wearing fluorescent colors, very, very bright colors, by dancing, by music, so very important as a theme here. Hmm? Yes, from PM perspective, if we understand the spiders, they have this is I those who don't know about personal evolution method, it's given by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi, and it's based on the inner age of the individual, and he considers spiders from the air element, so much of energy and the restlessness that we have. So air element. So for this group, okay, they belong to the adolescent type of age. Okay, so freedom is important. How anybody would be at adolescence age, so for them freedom is important. They are very self-centered kind of a personalities, very, very sensitive for music, noise, sounds, vibration. They like attention, going out, parties, and they kind of want to reject the society and go against them, and and they want to be in the limelight, all of that, and they have this feeling of being trapped and oppressed and hindered, and they want to kind of release and go out of it, kind of rebellious nature that we see here. Okay, then We see a lot of tubercular miasm in spider group. Changeability is something very important. Okay, we know adolescent age, there's a lot of changes that happen, right? And you have to adapt to it. So they don't like routine. They want to do something different. They want to kind of have doing constantly, right? They love changes. They doesn't like anything which is routine. They like creative things. So a lot of creativity we see here, hmm, and artistic qualities. So they look forward, or they have this kind of a uh, desire. Then, as per the superclass concept by Dr. Shankaran sir, the main dynamic of these remedies, the spider group, he has put it into superclass 5, where the main dynamic is to get out, to release, to vent out, okay, and the feeling of being trapped and want to get out of it. So they feel too much trapped, confined, and want to get out of it. So we restricted, suffocation, choked feeling. They don't like to be, stagnated, stuck. We saw that in our patient also. And opposite will be freedom to go out, movement, release. Right. So spider group comes to the fifth superclass. Mikhail Yakir, she puts it rigid desire for activity for spider remedies. Now coming to our remedy, Tarentula hispanica. It is prepared from the species of wolf spider, Lycosa tarentula. Okay, mainly found in Italy and Spain. Okay, and there was a proving which was conducted by Marquis Nunes of Spain. Okay, that the nature of the this spider, before the rainy season, they migrate in herds, traveling in leaps and bounds. Okay, so it makes its nest in the ground in small holes and in burrow lined with the web. Okay, which turns into the crooked angle after going down few inches. So that kind of area that they create for themselves, and then they kind of wait there and watch for the prospective prey to come, and then they can attack suddenly or violently, kind of a pounce for the prey to get. Hmm? The talent, they are very, very, very quick in their action. So, there is no chance that the prey could kind of really get released. It's most of the time it is, get caught or bitten by them. Hmm? And uh, that once it is bitten by the tarantula or that spider, that tarantulism or tarantism is a condition that gets generated. What does that mean? It is like intense restlessness that they have. They kind of irresistible urge to dance with this frenetic agitation, and that kind of tarantism happens because of the poisonous effects of their venom. And they kind of look very hysterical, terror, that kind of a generation. They kind of become very restless, and lot of fear and panic that get create could also lead to the complication like seizures and convulsions, that kind of a that disease. And that is something which is very, very important for us, right? So we are able to see that intense activity and that kind of a state in our patient. So it is a very important theme, okay, key indication, that affection of the nerves, okay, which are, so nervous symptoms will be more hysteria, chorea, many time reflexes from generic spear will be very, very well cured with this remedy. Then what do we see? They're very, very intelligent. Okay, so intelligence is very important. They are extremely kind of thoughtful and doing things. So intelligence is one of the mark theme of Tarantula. Violence. Okay, so very violent, destructive. They're very acute, quick acting. Okay, very angry if contraindicated, could lead to a lot of violence. So threatening, tearing of clothes, banging the head, or destructiveness is very important in tarantula. They are very cunning and mischievous. Okay, so they kind of making the web, and how they trap their praise, or how they kind of kind of make their prey available to them is something very, very important. Okay, so what they do, the long string of the webs, it connects to the legs of the two spiders. But it is very surprising as to why the spider does not get caught in its own web. It happens like that. Since the strings are sticky. So the reason is that the spider creates two different types of strings. The spider always moves those set of strings which are not sticky. So it's very intelligent, very cunning. Thus, one can see the cunning nature of the spider in that. So very manipulators, lying and deceptive, kleptomania, feigning sickness, all that we can see in this remedy. Unreciprocated love. So they need a lot of kind of love, affection, and they feel that they are lacking with it, and they are kind of they're not noticed, they're not kind of given attention, or they're not kind of given that an importance. So a lot of situations are created out of disappointment in the love and the unrequited love that they look for. So Tarantula has this ill effects of unrequited love is very important, and then they can have this kind of a effect on it. Very restless, hurried, hasty, so compelled to be busy, to act, to move without stopping is very important. Industrious, they cannot sit. The nervous system in Tarantula is like wound up tight like coiled spring, tense with boundless energy. So suddenly opening and closing like that kind of energy. Capable, efficient, but not due to ambition and competitiveness, but due to sheer compulsion to keep busy that we will see in Tarantula. Very restless creature. Desire for music is very important confirmation for Tarantula. It is very, very important and mandatory. Okay, so whistling when passing urine, restlessness of extremities ameliorated by music, then stares at one place when listening to music, irresistible urge to dancing. All these rubrics can be considered for this remedy. And they like very fast and rhythmic kind of a music. Periodicity is very common. So returning the symptoms every year is the mark theme of Tarantula. Then hysteria, because of that tarantism. So that hysteria is very important. It could be very sexual. So lascivious hysteria, nymphomania, they're very sexually oriented, right? So that could also be seen in the Tarantula as a remedy. So what are the characteristics that we see? We see symptoms which appear very suddenly, violently. There is a periodicity. Okay. They are adapted to highly nervous organisms, especially the choleric affections where whole body or the right arm or left legs are affected. Okay. Very restless. They love very bright colors. So blue, green, red. Most of the children, we have this confirmation of dancing and these colors that they really like. Restlessness cannot kind of be in one place. Desires ashes, that is also we have seen in the patients needing this remedy. Then a lot of fruitless activities, constipation, okay, then attacks of suffocation. So claustrophobia, having fresh air is very important. They desire raw food, very obstinate, very, very, the behavior is uncontrollable at times if you see Tarantula as a child in your clinic. Then they have solid food aversion, but desire for something liquid, which is easy to digest. Music amelioration, capriciousness in children we see. Sudden attacks is very important theme. Tobacco desires and smoking is also very important in Tarantula. Yeah. So this is what I had for this remedy. So we see that in the animal invertebrate and the themes of spiders, plus the characteristics of Tarentula here with the case. Any questions anybody has?
मैम ये जो स्मोकिंग का डिजायर है ना, ये सिर्फ टैरेंट्यूला का है या स्पाइडर का है?
Tarentula.
ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
Ma'am, I just have one request. If you have any case of kids with autism with tarantula, if you can able to share it, just verbally, like how they express hyperactive kids, because they won't be able to express this much verbally, right? So how can we recognize that this child is with may go with tarantula?
What my observation is, people or children specifically with autism, they will, even if with autism, they express their individuality, right? So their individuality, we will of course see the restlessness. We will also see the activity that they need, or we will see very angry child with lot of contradiction and kind of the things that they want to do. So very self-centered kind of a thing, say very destructive and not thinking about the mother, right? So that kind of things we will be able to see, and some kind of manipulation and cunning activities, throwing things. I've seen, they feel happy. Like even if a child with autism, if they are restless, they will have some activity which, others will suffer in that. So they kind of throw some things, and when the mother gets angry, I remember one case, when mother gets angry, they will smile at her. So that kind of cunning and manipulative nature. So that is how you have to pick. They will not tell you. Maybe the mother can give you more observations of her, and from that we'll be able to kind of pick that. But it is very, very easily seen and could be found out and given this remedy.
Hello, ma'am. Just tell about the opposite state also, na? Claustrophobia. If there is claustrophobia and the patient is in a closed room, then he wants open air and he wants to come out.
Yeah, but this could be, one of the symptoms. So only on the one side of claustrophobia and desire for, having open air and all will not just come to tarantula, because there are other remedies who also need that, right? The claustrophobia could be part of other remedies like sepia also, or the insect remedies also. But we have to match that with other themes of the spiders. And then we can maybe have that prescription as a tarantula for that particular individual.
Thanks, ma'am.
Ma'am, there is one question. Differentiation between sepia and tarantula.
Sepia, what I found, sepia has of course, lot of similarities. Okay, sepia also belongs to, in terms of the superclass, the fifth superclass. Okay, they also, love dancing. They also want the action, like the movements. They also have kind of similar kind of picture to sepia and tarantula. But with sepia, they will have the themes of mollusk in it. They are also invertebrates, but the sepia will have more of a mollusk themes, plus the 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 complaint, what in my clinical observation I have seen, the destructiveness, the anger is much more intense in tarantula than sepia. So the activity, also the tarantula's activity, the invertebrates hyperactivity is different in sepia uh, and tarantula, because they're constantly on motion, tarantula people. So Even if they look same, but there would be some differences, and that cunningness and manipulative nature will not be there in sepia. They will be more upfront and talking about it, and taking their own kind of a behavior difference. We can think about differentiating sepia and tarentula in the remedy.
Ma'am, there is another question that can tarantula can be taught in seizures?
No, we can think about it because a lot of these involuntary movement, choreas and all could be, you know, tarantula can be thought of. And these would be more of a intense kind of activity leading to seizures or contractions in tarantula. So if the themes match, we can think of seizures, tarantula for seizures. Yes, they are mean and sadistic, yes. Anything else?
Hello, participants. If you want to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat box.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
What feature in this case highlights the invertebrate this thing?
Yes. So invertebrate themes, generally we have what we, in particular to the case that I would say are mainly about the self-centered behavior. Okay, thinking about your own self and not giving much importance, or happening what is happening to other person is something that was main indication of the invertebrate for that case. Plus the world generally, they look very very threatening to them, so they are very vulnerable. They don't want to kind of disclose their secret or their vulnerable side, so they want to kind of hide that, and uh, trust they don't trust anybody, like the whole world together as a unit. So those were my indications of invertebrates for that case.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? And then that sudden things are also no in the invertebrates. Generally, they are very very sensitive for this suddenness, or sudden death, or suddenly something happening is also very very important. Hmm? They're less developed, so they will try to hide themselves, protect themselves. Very and most of the time low moral sense, as compared to the vertebrates that you'll be able to see, more materialistic, less spiritual, that kind of attitude when we look at invertebrates.
Any other questions, if you want, you can ask.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. I hope it was helpful, it was useful for all of you. Go through these recordings. We'll put that on YouTube. There are other sessions which we are going to do, previous remedies also. So our idea is to make the holistic understanding of the remedies, and not just mugging the symptoms, or by hearting the symptoms, or being very 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 particular about particular thought process about one remedy. We have to see all throughout. When we see Tarentula, then we have to see, of course, the characteristic. We have to see, of course, the rubrics. But we also see the spider theme. We also see the arachnid theme. We also see invertebrate theme and the animal theme. That is how we have to look towards the remedy and not just, mugging up the symptoms. Of course, there will be some symptoms which will be very common to only important to Tarentula, but not just picking up on those, right? So that's the whole idea. Please go through it. If you have any question, you all can write to us, and we are going to come up with more such kind of a session. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was very insightful and obviously interesting. Thank you so much, participants, for your attendance and for your presence in the webinar. Thank you. A very good evening. Thank you.